Fox News is America's election headquarters, and the New York Times is reporting that Republican candidate Ben Carson is traveling to Jordan today, where he will be meeting with Syrian refugees. And the trip comes after several weeks of Carson pushing back over accusations that he doesn't have enough foreign policy chops. Here's Dr. Carson on that.
I hope everybody's on a learning curve. It recognizes the fact that things are always in the process of changing. And if you stay stagnant and you say, well, I'm up on it and now I'll go relax, you're not going to be very competent.
For more on that, let's bring in Daniel Halper, online editor for the Weekly Standard. Daniel, let's start with the positives here. I mean, you've got to give him credit for saying, you know what, I'm going over there. I want to learn more about the situation firsthand. But at the same time, how much of this trip is in response to his poll numbers that are dropping and a narrative like this one? I don't know if you saw this headline in the National Review this week saying it's too late for Carson to catch up on his homework. Would he be going on this trip otherwise? I think that's the big question here.
Yeah, look, it's obviously not a sightseeing venture. He's not going to see Petra and going to relax by the Dead Sea. He's obviously going for political motivations, and he's going to bone up on foreign policy. His numbers have dropped significantly as the focus of the race has been on terrorism and on ISIS, especially in the wake of the Paris terror attacks. But this is not without its risks either. Obviously, if you go to meet these Syrians and these Syrian refugees and you get a lot of photo ops, it's hard to come back to America, I would think, and take the position that, well, these people should not be allowed in America. I think that might come off as looking cold and perhaps not as compassionate to some. And so it is a risky venture that he's doing. A little bit of a Hail Mary, but it's certainly going to get a lot of attention and make it look like he is trying to learn as much as he can about foreign affairs.
Right. And as you said, for months he's been opposed to accepting refugees here in this country. Recently compared security concerns with refugees to a rabid dog running around your neighbor, a comment that caused a lot of people to raise their eyebrows. Do you think he will change his opinion about the refugee situation now that he will be spending some close one-on-one time with many of them?
Well, I think in a way it'd be awkward if he didn't, right? Because you have this, you're going to have a photo op come out of this. If he's meeting with the refugees, we're all going to see pictures of it. And for them to, see the human side of it and then to say, no, we don't want to do anything for these people. I think, there's a way to figure it out. We want to do something for them, but it doesn't include fast tracking them here to America. It will be something like that. And that's why this is so risky in particular. Most candidates, Mitt Romney, he went to visit England and he went to visit Israel and he went to visit Poland. You go to allies and you look familiar and you look like you can be a presidential leader. This is a slightly different take on the foreign visit by a candidate, which again has certain risks that I'm not sure have been completely thought through by the Carson campaign.
And this is a debate that many people are having right now throughout the country. What do we do with these refugees? And you look at a recent poll that Fox News put out just a few days ago that showed sort of the mood of the country when it comes to immigration. And interestingly, a majority are right in line with where Donald Trump is to deport the immigrants that are already here. What does that suggest about where we are when it comes to this refugee debate? I mean, if a majority of the country is saying, let's get rid of the folks we already have here, we're not even talking about the folks that we haven't brought here yet.
Well, I sort of think it's more nuanced, right? Because I don't think people aren't compassionate for these people. I think it's a little more nuanced, especially with the refugees. It's not that you don't want to do something to help them. It's just that you're concerned about ISIS and the rise of terrorism in the Middle East, and you're concerned about people using that visa program to infiltrate the United States. That's slightly different. And I think this is more nuanced than I think perhaps sometimes we give it credit for, that people want to be helpful without, and maintain borders and maintain rule of law and maintain security. And it's very tricky. Obviously, Carson weighing in on it is it's a bit of a minefield, but he could come out very successful, and it could be high risk, high reward. So
you think this trip could change poll numbers for the better for Carson? That's obviously what he's hoping for in going to Jordan.
It could. I wouldn't bet on it, but that's the possibility, and that's obviously the motivating force behind this visit.
All right, Daniel, thanks so much. We appreciate it.
Thanks, Abby.